Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. If you're online, please try to like, and make sure you drop comments so that I will know who and who are online. Just 1 minute, we're going to start up because let's just wait for other students to join. Okay. 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 You're welcome on board. You're welcome on board. You're welcome on board. Okay. Please help us to drop it on the class page that we are live. That we are live for as many students to come on board for this tonight's revision. Okay. 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 Good. I think we are good to go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sister Stella B, Sister Yemi Abubakar, Sister Jane, Sister Towan. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for coming on board today. So today, you can always drop the test we did yesterday in the class, the one I marked this afternoon. Please, you can drop the number you want me to answer. Or maybe I will run through everything. I think I should run through everything. But today I'm going to explain, before I start the test, I'm going to explain what one student requested for you yesterday. Also, which was the reaction time, reaction distance, breaking distance, and stopping distance. What is the difference between this? Reaction distance, breaking distance, and stopping distance. Now, how does this go? Now, when we talk about reaction time, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. When we talk about reaction time, what is reaction time? You know, reaction means your response to an incident, to an obstacle. Now, we will now say reaction time. That is the time you respond. And remember that the time you respond matters so much. Most time in exam, many students, they have error in differentiate when they said reaction time increases, reaction time decreases. Let me just tell you something. You have a time. When a time increases, it means that you wasted time. When a time decreases, means that you are faster. Now, when it comes to reaction in driving, you react to an incident that comes your way. When you react faster, it means that you did not waste time. You did not waste time. So it means that your reaction time is decreased. So when you have a decreased reaction time, it means it's good. When you have increase in reaction time, it means that you wasted time and you are getting closer to the obstacle. It's not safe. So in that case, what is reaction time? Reaction time is the time that passes from when you perceive a stimulus, an obstacle, and you react to it. You did not press brake. You only react by changing your leg from the throttle to the brake. You are moving. Changing your leg from the throttle to the brake means that you react to that incident. Now, during that reaction time, there's a kind of distance you cover because the car is still moving. If they measure the distance you cover, which is measured in meter, that distance you cover during the reaction time is called reaction distance. So what is reaction distance? Reaction distance is the distance you cover during reaction time. So during that reaction time, there's a distance you cover. That is the reaction distance. Now, reaction distance is similar to reaction time, but it's just that is the reaction, that is the distance you cover during the reaction, but reaction time is the time you cover during the reaction. So let me repeat again. Now, the reaction time is the time that passes, the time you react to an obstacle. You react to an obstacle. The distance you cover during that reaction time is the reaction distance. Now, how does it go? Now you're cruising your car, you're moving your car, and you notice red lighting. There's a particular time you will notice a red light. When you notice that red light, you remove your leg from the throttle. Removing your leg, the time you remove your leg from the throttle to put on top of brake without pressing the brake is called reaction. The time you do it is called reaction time. The distance you cover during that period is called reaction distance. Now, for a normal person, the reaction time of a normal person should be 0.7 seconds. 0.7 seconds, which means before the count of 1, you already react. Now, what is now braking distance? As the name implies, braking. Braking is now is a distance you cover from the moment you start to apply brake until the car stops. So from the moment I start to apply the brake, remember that reaction this time is when I remove my leg from the throttle to put it on brake. I didn't press brake. That is where the reaction time ends. Now, from the moment I start to apply the brake until the car now stops is called the braking distance. So the time I cover during the timing of pressing brake and the car stop is called braking distance. Now, what is stopping distance? In exam, they can call it absolute stopping distance or overall stopping distance or stopping distance. Is the same thing. Now, what is stopping distance? Stopping distance is the reaction distance plus braking distance. I repeat, stopping distance is the reaction distance plus braking distance, which means from the moment you see a stimulus, you receive a stimulus, you perceive an obstacle, and you react to it, you start pressing brake until the car stops. Together, the two together becomes stopping distance. In exam, they always ask you, is stopping distance equal to braking distance? No, it can never be equal. Braking distance is just a unit in the stopping distance, which is from the moment you press brake until the car stops. But stopping distance is from the moment, from the reaction time to the braking time. So that is the difference between the two. Please, if you're joining us and you can like the video from the like button. Please help us to thumb up to like the video. And if you're watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, we are trying to do revision for some likely question every week like this. We come online on board to explain some likely question in exam and how you can tackle them. So that is what we are doing. So if you are watching us from any angle, you can call us on 620-586-038 if you feel like joining us as a student, or you feel you believe in us to prepare you to pass your exam. We are available. And again, if you have any question generally in exam or any question that has been bothering through the book, through your studying, you can call in 620-586-038, or you drop it on the live chats for us to explain, because now we are going into some of the question we did, the test we did yesterday in the class, in our own class online. We have the class line, and you can be in any country, and we prepare you to do exam in Spain now. So what you just need to do is to call us, and we'll get the material down to you. And if you want that material also, we can also give you a material, send your our material down to your doorstep for you to have a proper. If you use the right material, your result is sure. But if you use the wrong material, it means that you have to crack brain in exam to get it clear. And we are available 24 hours to assist as much students as possible. So now we're going to the test we have yesterday, which is the test we have. Many of our students today, they've been writing that they need test 5, test 16. I think I should run the whole test. I should run the whole test. If you are having the test, please, let me just try to run the whole test so that we can be clear with it. Now, question one of the test says, question 1 says, if you witness an accident in which you are not involved, is it your duty to help the injured person? Is it your duty? Though, as a general law, when help has not been rendered, you have to wait. You have to help. But yes, unless help is already being organized. If help is already being organized, you can go. But if there's no help, being the first person on the scene, you have to help. Number two of the question says, loading and unloading a vehicle must be done off the road as a general rule. You cannot load on a hard shoulder. You cannot load on any side of the road that is not ascribed for loading or offloading. So you have to load off the road. You shouldn't disturb the other road users on the road. Number 3, on which type of road do accidents with fatal victim occur? On which type of road? Interurban road. Interurban road. Why? Because that is they are asking for a fatal accident. That is a kind of severe accident. So because of the high speed on interurban road, accidents that are fatal do happen, which is motorway, dual carriageway stuff. Number 4 say cone on the side on the road indicates. The purpose of cone on the roadway is to form imaginary line which you must not cross. Cone, when they place cone on the roadway, it might be due to maybe they block a lane. Placing of cone forms an imaginary line which you cannot cross. So in that case, it is prohibited to cross the cone. Number 5, which many of you people, you asked question in the class today, it is prohibited to drive a truck of less than 3,500 kg with an alcohol level in an Excel year over in this over 25, over 0.25 milligram per liter, over 0.5 milligram per liter. Why? Because in this case, they are asking about vehicle less than 3,005. It's a game. A lorry that is less than 3,005, and they are talking about the general law, general rules. You know, generally is 0.25 milligram in the Excel year, 0.5 gram in the blood. But when you are less than 2 years, or you are professional drivers means lorries that are more than 3,500. But this question is asking about lorry that are less than 3,500. That's why many of the students fail it, because the question is just asking you about lorry less than 3,500. Number 6 says, you park your vehicle on a downward slope. Which gear must you use? You use the reverse gear. When you park on a downward slope, if you put it on gear 1 or gear 2, it means that when somebody push your car will move forward. So you engage it on reverse gear because of the way your parking pattern. Number 7, say, can this sign indicate the beginning of an underpass? Look at the sign. Number 7, look at the sign. Look at the sign. That sign, can it indicate? Yes. Yes, because it's showing the entrance of a tunnel and an underpass also. So it's yes. Number 8, in case of not heavy rain, is the use of fog lights permitted? Number 8, is the use of fog light permitted? No, no. Since the rain is not heavy, I don't need fog lights. It's not heavy. I don't need fog light. Number 9 says, if you're driving on this road with dense traffic, the road has a dense traffic, you are not permitted to change lane to overtake. When it's dense lane, you are not permitted to change lane to overtake. So that is it. Number 10, what does LSD have on driver? LSD, it causes hallucination and a kind of mental disorder and hallucination. Sorry. Number 11, a motorcycle is defined as an automobile with 2 wheels with cylindrical capacity over 50 centimeter cube and with a maximum speed over 45 kilometers per hour. So motor vehicle is a motorcycle. Number 12, optical warning must be made with sufficient warning before you start the maneuver. You have to make it known to other users before you go on maneuver. Number 13, when you drive in an inappropriate speed, that's a speed that is not suitable, that is not adequate for the road. So when you drive on that kind of road, you probably have an accident. Inappropriate speed is not right. Just like now you are driving 120 kilometers per hour on motorway during rainfall. It is inappropriate. Though you're still on the maximum speed, but it's an inappropriate speed. Number 14, at an intersection with no traffic light, no traffic sign, which vehicle will have priority over the others? Which vehicle will have priority? Now they're talking about vehicle like the rail, the one on the rail and the one on the road. Any vehicle on the rail has priority over the vehicle on the road. So the tram or the train, when you have the rail crossing, they have priority over you that is driving on the road. Number 15, does pedestrian crossing, road marking gives pedestrian priority to cross? Yes, always. That's the purpose of pedestrian crossing. It gives them priority to cross the road. Number 16, as a general rule, if a person injured in an accident and is unconscious, how should he be placed? How should he be placed? He has to be placed lying on the side of the defense position. That means you have to put the person on recovery position, which is defensive position. Defensive position. Number 17, can accident caused due to the drowsiness in the driver occur during the day? Yes. Yes, during the day, accident can happen. Yes. Number 18, what does this sign order you to do? That's number 18. What does this sign order you to do? The sign. This is a red triangle that faces down. What does it order you to do? What that sign order you to do is to give way to all vehicles that have priority on the road. You don't have priority. Priority is given to one vehicle on that junction. So it's telling you to give road way to the vehicle on the junction. You don't have priority. Number 19, is it mandatory to turn off the engine while you're filling up your gas tank? Yes. Yes, always. Anytime you get to filling station, you must put off your engine. You have to off even mobile phone, the radio system, because of electromagnetic kind of force. You off every gadget that has to induce electric currents. So you have to put them off, even mobile phone. Number 20 says, what effect can depression have on driver? Distraction and sleepiness. Depression, distraction, and sleepiness. So if you have, let's immediately we'll finish this class. If you have any question, you can call in on 620-586-038, 620-586-038, or you drop any question on the comment box for me to answer, because we're going to give like 2 minutes or 3 minutes to just solve before we call it a day. Number 21 says, a load transported on a vehicle must be distributed so that it does not cover light. It doesn't cover light. It doesn't cover the illuminating kind of signal on the vehicle. So it has to be placed in a way properly that it won't cover the vision of others on the road. Number 22 says, a driver of a vehicle driving behind another vehicle must leave between them at least a free space. It's not measurable. A free space. The space I leave between each other on the roadway is just a free space that if you brake suddenly, I'll be able to brake without colliding. But inside tunnel is measurable. That is 100 meters or 4 seconds in the tunnel. Number 23 says, one of the major causes of accident involving old people is a kind of deterioration in their physical psychomotor skills. That is, they have problem in reacting because of the old age. Number 24, are you permitted to do U-turn at an intersection? Are you permitted to do U-turn at an is capital no as a general law. As the general law, you cannot do U-turn at an intersection. Number 25, what license do you need to drive a private car with a trailer less than 750 kg? Is your B license. Let me just tell you in this area, the B license entails 3 things. I always tell people. 1, it gives you right to drive any vehicle that is less than 3,500. B, it tells you, it permits you to drive any vehicle that have 9 persons, including the driver, which means 8 passengers, including the driver. Third one, it permits you to haul a light trailer. What is a light trailer? A light trailer is any trailer that is not more than 750 kg. Good. Number 26 says, is it correct to drive in the center of this road? The road they are talking about here in the picture is a road with no central marking line, no separation line, no delineating line. It is not right. In a lane or roadway where there's no mark on the roadway that separates lane, you have to drive closer to the right side so that it won't cause problem. Number 27, is it dangerous not to fasten your seatbelt? Yes, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because when you have a kind of collision, even at this lesser speed, it will not be possible for you to remain on the seats. You can jump out from the street through the windscreen. Number 28 says, what does this sign mean? What does this sign mean? Look at this. A triangle, a kind of triangle red that has a cyclist inside it, a bicycle rider inside it. It means that danger due to the proximity of a cycle lane. Now, number 29. Is it dangerous to expel an insect from the vehicle while you are driving? Yes, it's dangerous. While you're driving, you notice a kind of fly in your car and you're trying to like send it away. Yes, it will distract you. It's dangerous, very dangerous. So in that case, some people will just wind down for the fly to look for his way out. But if you're like disturbing yourself, it's dangerous. This question comes in exam and a lot of people, they fail it like that. Number 30 of that question says, can a motorcycle drive without an exhaust? No, it is prohibited. You can't drive without an exhaust. You have to have an exhaust. What is the purpose of an exhaust system? An exhaust system is a silencer. It reduces the sound that the engine brings out. So it silences. That's why they call it exhaust pipe or silencer. So it's very, very important that every automobile that has an engine or a vehicle that has an engine must have an exhaust pipe. So any question from anyone in the house? Any question? If you're watching us on Facebook, you can call also on 620-586-038. 038. If you are a student, you can call direct or call through WhatsApp to ask your question. If you have any question from anyone, any question, you can type your question on the live chat also. If you have any other question, or you call in through 620-586-038 for us to answer any question. Maybe during your study you encounter something that is not clear to you. That is why we're here. We are here to explain this. Any question, generally we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Any question from anyone? Any question? 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 Any question from the house? Any question? If there's no question, I think we should try to call it a day tonight. For all the students, we'll meet together. We'll meet again tomorrow on our own online class. So join me tomorrow again as we'll have another wonderful lecture. This is just an avenue to do revision on likely question. We come on board like this sometimes just to treat some likely question in exam so that it can be more explanatory for as many that are watching. So if you're watching and you feel that we can prepare you to pass, you can call us on 620-586-038. I remain Steve Aditela. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.